Narcissism. This word often evokes images of someone vain and self-absorbed, constantly checking their reflection. While this can be true, narcissism runs much deeper. It's a personality disorder where individuals have an inflated sense of self-importance and a deep need for admiration. They crave the spotlight and go to great lengths to maintain their dazzling facade. However, behind this carefully crafted mask lies a fragile ego, easily threatened by criticism and vulnerability. Their lives become a carefully curated performance, filled with half-truths, exaggerations, and outright lies, all designed to keep their true selves hidden from view. By recognizing the reasons behind their lies, we can better navigate interactions with them and safeguard our own well-being. Imagine a house with a pristine facade but a crumbling foundation. This image perfectly captures the world of a narcissist. Outwardly, they project an aura of confidence and success, meticulously crafting an image of perfection. But step inside their world, and you'll find a different story. Behind closed doors, the lies begin to unravel. The truth is, narcissists are deeply insecure individuals haunted by a fear of inadequacy. Lies become their shield, a way to mask their vulnerabilities and maintain the illusion of superiority. Each lie, no matter how small, serves a purpose: to protect their fragile ego and keep their carefully constructed facade from crumbling. Narcissists possess an insatiable hunger for admiration. They crave it like a drug, needing a constant supply to fuel their inflated egos. This insatiable desire stems from a deep-seated belief that they are superior to others, deserving of constant praise and recognition. To satisfy this craving, narcissists become masters of manipulation, weaving elaborate tales designed to elicit admiration from those around them. They exaggerate their accomplishments, embellish their talents, and fabricate stories of their brilliance, all to evoke gasps of awe and pronouncements of envy. They spin narratives that paint them as heroes, geniuses, or victims, depending on what will garner the most attention and sympathy. They become so engrossed in their own performance that they believe their own lies, blurring the distinction between truth and falsehood. This self-deception serves a crucial purpose. It protects them from confronting their own insecurities and the fragility of their inflated egos. For a narcissist, every interaction is an opportunity to solicit praise and validation. They are experts at reading people, identifying their insecurities and desires, and tailoring their lies to exploit these vulnerabilities. They might shower a new acquaintance with compliments, only to later use this fabricated intimacy to manipulate them. Or they may invent a sob story to elicit sympathy, using others' compassion as a means to gain attention and control. A narcissist might exaggerate their role in a project at work, hoping to garner praise from their boss. These seemingly harmless fabrications reveal a deeper truth about the narcissist's psyche. Their sense of self-worth is entirely dependent on external validation. Without a constant stream of praise and admiration, their carefully constructed facade crumbles, revealing the insecure and vulnerable individual hiding beneath. The narcissist's reliance on lies to gain admiration creates a vicious cycle. Each successful lie, each fabricated story that elicits the desired response, reinforces their belief that deception is the key to getting what they want. They become addicted to the validation that comes from manipulating others, craving the rush of power that accompanies a successfully executed lie. However, this reliance on deception comes at a steep price. As the narcissist continues to lie, they dig themselves deeper into a web of deceit. They must constantly invent new narratives to maintain their facade, becoming increasingly isolated from genuine human connection. Their relationships become transactional, based on the exchange of flattery for a false sense of intimacy. The tragedy of the narcissist's cycle of lies and validation is that it ultimately prevents them from experiencing true fulfillment. For a narcissist, the world is a stage, and everyone in it is merely a player in their carefully orchestrated production. They see themselves as the director of this grand performance, meticulously controlling every aspect of the narrative to maintain an illusion of power and dominance. Their need for control stems from a deep-seated insecurity, a fear of vulnerability that drives them to manipulate situations and people to fit their desired outcomes. Lies become the invisible strings with which they control their puppets. They spin elaborate webs of deceit, crafting narratives that paint them as victims, heroes, or saviors, all to elicit specific responses from those around them. Their need for control extends to every facet of their relationships. They dictate the terms of engagement, setting rigid rules designed to keep others off balance and maintain their own position of power. Narcissists are masters of manipulation, skilled at distorting reality to fit their desired narrative. They twist facts, omit crucial details, and outright fabricate events to control the perception of those around them. They might take credit for others' accomplishments, downplay their own mistakes, or project their own negative qualities onto others, all to maintain an illusion of superiority and control. This distortion of reality serves a dual purpose. Firstly, it allows them to escape accountability for their actions. By shifting blame and manipulating perceptions, they avoid facing the consequences of their behavior. Secondly, it reinforces their sense of power and control. By dictating the narrative, they maintain a sense of dominance over their environment and the people in it. Silencing dissent, lies as weapons of manipulation. Narcissists have a deep-seated intolerance for dissent. Any challenge to their authority, any questioning of their motives, is perceived as a threat to their carefully constructed facade. To maintain control, they resort to lies as weapons, silencing opposition and discrediting anyone who dares to question their narrative. They might launch into character assassinations, spreading rumors and lies to damage the reputation of anyone who dares to challenge them. They might play the victim, feigning outrage and hurt to garner sympathy and turn others against their perceived attacker. This silencing of dissent creates a toxic environment where open communication and honest feedback are impossible. The price of control, isolation in the shadow of deception. While the narcissist's web of lies may initially grant them a sense of control, it ultimately comes at a steep price: isolation. Their constant need for manipulation and their intolerance for dissent drive a wedge between them and those closest to them. Friendships crumble under the weight of their deceit, and romantic relationships become battlegrounds for control. Their loved ones grow weary of the constant manipulation, the emotional exhaustion of navigating their distorted reality. Trust erodes, replaced by suspicion and resentment. The narcissist's carefully constructed world, built on a foundation of lies, begins to crumble as those around them withdraw, unwilling to participate in their charade any longer. The art of blame shifting, evading responsibility through lies. For a narcissist, accountability is anathema. Admitting fault shatters their illusion of perfection. They master blame shifting to avoid responsibility. Lies become their primary weapon. They twist narratives to paint themselves as victims. The smoke and mirrors of justification, creating illusions of innocence. When confronted with undeniable evidence of their wrongdoing, narcissists rarely offer a genuine apology. Instead, they resort to elaborate justifications, crafting narratives that minimize their actions, rationalize their behavior, or even portray themselves as the true victims in the situation. They might argue that their manipulative actions were simply a misguided attempt to protect themselves or help the other person. These justifications, however, are nothing more than smoke and mirrors, designed to obscure the truth and maintain the narcissist's illusion of innocence. They are a form of gaslighting, a manipulation tactic used to sow seeds of doubt in the victim's mind, making them question their own perceptions and judgment. The rewriting of history, manipulating the past to control the future. Narcissists have a remarkable ability to rewrite history to fit their current narrative. They selectively remember events, omit inconvenient details, and fabricate entire conversations to maintain their desired image and control the perception of those around them. They might conveniently forget promises they made, deny hurtful things they said, or even invent stories of their own generosity and kindness, all to paint themselves in a favorable light and discredit any opposing viewpoints. This manipulation of the past serves a strategic purpose. By controlling the narrative of past events, they influence how others perceive them in the present and manipulate their behavior in the future. Trapped in a web of deceit, the consequences of evading accountability. The narcissist's constant avoidance of accountability, their reliance on lies and manipulation to evade responsibility, ultimately leads to a profound sense of isolation. While their tactics may grant them temporary reprieve from the discomfort of self-reflection, they prevent them from experiencing genuine growth and meaningful connection. Their relationships, built on a foundation of deceit and manipulation, become transactional and shallow. Loved ones grow weary of the constant gaslighting, the emotional exhaustion of navigating their distorted reality. As the narcissist continues to evade accountability, they become ensnared in their own web of deceit. The life of a narcissist is a carefully curated performance, a dazzling spectacle designed to elicit admiration and envy. At the heart of this performance lies a false self, a meticulously crafted persona that bears little resemblance to the insecure and vulnerable individual hiding beneath the mask. This grandiose facade is built on a foundation of lies, half-truths, and exaggerations, meticulously assembled to project an image of superiority, success, and unwavering confidence. They are masters of self-promotion, adept at highlighting their accomplishments, real or imagined, while downplaying or outright concealing any flaws or shortcomings. They might boast about their intelligence, their talents, their wealth, or their social connections, inflating their achievements to mythical proportions. This grandiose facade serves a crucial purpose. It protects the narcissist's fragile ego from the unbearable pain of inadequacy. By creating a false self that is immune to criticism, they shield themselves from the perceived threat of judgment and rejection. While the narcissist's grandiose facade may appear impenetrable, beneath the surface lies a fragile and insecure ego, easily threatened by the slightest hint of criticism or disapproval. This fragility stems from a deep-seated sense of inadequacy, a belief that they are inherently flawed and unworthy of love and acceptance. To compensate for this perceived deficiency, they construct a false self that is everything they believe they are not: confident, successful, and admired. This elaborate fabrication becomes their shield, protecting them from the painful reality of their own perceived shortcomings. However, this reliance on a false self comes at a steep price. The narcissist lives in constant fear of exposure, terrified that others will see through their carefully constructed facade and discover the flawed individual hiding beneath. Section 3. Living a Lie. The performance of a lifetime. For the narcissist, life becomes an endless performance, a carefully choreographed dance designed to elicit admiration. They are masters of impression management, constantly monitoring their audience, adopting different personas to maintain control and protect their fragile egos. This constant performance takes a toll. They become disconnected from their authentic self, buried beneath layers of artifice. Losing sight of who they are, their identity subsumed by their persona. The tragedy is that it prevents genuine connection. Section 4. The Unmasking. When the facade crumbles. The narcissist's facade, while seemingly impenetrable, is not immune to cracks. Over time, their manipulative patterns and need for admiration chip away at the illusion. Loved ones, exhausted by gaslighting and manipulation, may begin to withdraw. As their world crumbles, the narcissist faces exposure of their true selves. Unmasking the truth. Recognizing and navigating narcissistic lies. The human psyche is complex, especially in the narcissist's relationship with truth. Their lies are tools of manipulation, reflecting a deep-seated internal struggle. Understanding these lies empowers us to navigate complex dynamics, recognize patterns of grandiosity and manipulation, protect ourselves, and make informed choices. We cannot change a narcissist, but we can set boundaries and prioritize our well-being. Breaking free, protecting yourself, and fostering healthier relationships. Navigating relationships with narcissists can be emotionally draining. We are not responsible for their behavior, nor obligated to tolerate it. We have the right to protect ourselves and set boundaries. Learning to disengage from manipulation requires courage and self-awareness. It may involve setting firm boundaries, refusing to engage in their games, and prioritizing our own needs. Surrounding ourselves with supportive relationships and cultivating self-compassion. Seeking professional guidance can provide invaluable support. Breaking free from manipulation is an act of self-love and resilience.